Hey, it's Bill here, and I'm at 7 World Trade Center in New York City, which as we know is FXDD's headquarters. And today, for the week ahead, I'm actually joined by Bob McKeon, our head of risk and execution here at FXDD. So Bob, once again, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it's great to be with you, Bill, as always.
It's always a pleasure. So we're going to talk about the week ahead, and this week actually begins on Sunday, December 2nd. But as you know, before we get started, we want to remind you that foreign exchange carries a high degree of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. So do yourselves a favor and read the disclaimer at the end of today's video. So Bob, as I was looking for the week ahead about the releases that are coming out, why don't we talk about the fiscal cliff? Because that seems to be what's on everybody's mind.
Big concern, big concern. Last week, the Democrats and Republicans still not making any headway on moving on this issue. It's becoming a big political football. When that happens, the solutions are usually not very good. So it's looking more and more likely like the U.S. will be pushed over this cliff. They're also, that clock is ticking, so they're down to 4 weeks. December 31st is the deadline, that's the goal. And I don't see anything really significantly happening over the next 4 weeks. So expect this to continue to be headlines, to continue to create volatility in the market, and I expect that you'll see a lower euro and a lower dollar yen on this, but we'll have to see what the news brings us.
It's funny that you say that. Does the lingering fiscal cliff diminish the value of these numbers?
Yes. The numbers come in, and every number is important only for the next 30 days till you have a new set of data to look at and analyze.
Right.
The fiscal cliff situation is going to set the tone for U.S. tax and spending policies for the next 4 to 5 years. Wow. So obviously that's a longer term development that's going to have an impact that's not going to go away in the short run. I mean, any 1 month you can always have an outlying piece of data that comes in, could be good or bad, and then next month the series can go back to where it's back on a status that it's been on the trend, back on trend.
Right.
But this is something that's going to impact the U.S. for a long time, and it's not going to go away, and it does not look like it's going to be peaceful.
So in essence, we're telling everybody today, as we go through these releases next week, just remember that the lingering fiscal cliff is the big elephant in the room.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, on Monday, for those of you who are trading the Aussie dollar, we have a high number, basically a number of significant importance coming out, which is the cash rate and Reserve Bank of Australia statement. And these times, are all Eastern Standard Time or New York time, and that will be at 10:30 p.m. On Tuesday, we have the Bank of Canada rate statement and overnight rate. That is also at 9 o'clock a.m., and again, that's in Canada. And on Wednesday as well, in Switzerland, we have the unemployment rate. On Wednesday, again, we have the Reserve Bank of New Zealand press conference and rate statement, and that comes out at 3 o'clock p.m. Also on Wednesday, the employment change and unemployment rate in Australia, and that for you late birds is at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, the official bank rate out of the UK is at 7 o'clock a.m. And on Thursday, of course, we always have the weekly unemployment rate, or weekly unemployment number for the U.S. at 8:30 a.m. And of course, on Thursday as well, we actually have the trade balance in Australia, and that's at 7:30 p.m. And of course, Bob, rounding out the week.
Well, also just to go on Thursday, we have an ECB meeting at 7:45. They'll announce their rates. We expect they'll stay at 3/4 right now. But at 8:30 New York time, they'll start the press conference. The first meeting of the month is usually very important for the ECB. It's the only time historically they've ever moved rates or made any major policy announcements in the press conference. So 8:30 Thursday morning, very key for what's happening with our friends in Europe, and obviously their fiscal situation and their debt crisis still continues without a solution on the horizon. Then Friday we have the mother of all data releases, the non-farm payrolls. We expect 95,000 up. Very volatile series. It's a good number to trade off of because it does create volatility and interest in the market. Also, you might get a little bit of a headline on Wednesday when they announce the ADP data comes out 8:15 in New York. It's created havoc in the market from time to time because it hasn't correlated very well with the release on Friday. But you should be aware that that number's coming out so that you can make sure you're positioned the way you want to have it. If you want to add risk or reduce risk before these events, be aware of them and trade cautiously.
And for those of you out there who aren't familiar, ADP is the private payroll company that kind of will show you exactly how many jobs are being added in the private sector, or at least give you an indication of what we could expect on Friday.
Correct. Yeah, it's a theory on that. They have some sort of inside knowledge of the job creation from the prior month. And what we've seen on the improvement going back to August's data, September's data, October's data, it's actually government jobs that have boosted the non-farm payrolls number every month. And that's something that ADP does not track because the government, in this one instance, keeps care of its own checkbook.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So there you have it, folks. There's the week ahead for the week beginning on Sunday, December 2nd. And as always, if you have any questions, you can certainly submit them to FXDD in our FXDD section, and we would love to answer those for you. Bob, thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate your time.
And I always like to reach out to people. Anything we can do to help you, any questions, please use our services.
Absolutely. Well, that's the week ahead, everybody. I wish you all the best of luck in your trading and have a great day.